This is our '89 Mustang that we bought on Facebook Marketplace for $3,700, and this is its 5-liter. It's Ford small block V8. We just got done dumping about $10,000 worth of parts into to see if we could double its power without cheating by using things like turbos or superchargers.
And today we're going to take this engine and put it in this engine bay. We're going to get the car running, then get it on the dyno and see if we can double our horsepower and get us one step closer to Bigtime's first official party car. Or did we just waste a whole bunch of money?
Welcome to Bigtime. Okay, the engine is pretty much ready to go in the car, but it is missing a clutch, flywheel, and transmission. So we need to change that, and then we can dump the whole thing in. And we still need to modify the passenger side header, but we're gonna do that with the engine and transmission in the car.
Adult Legos. That's all it is, kids. Adult Legos. You start with Build-A-Blocks, then you go to Legos, then you go to Technic, and then you go to motorcycles, and then you go to this. And that's how you can do it.
I am scraping off some gas material right now while Mike gets a puller for us to change our pilot bearing.
And I'm ordering lunch, okay? It's important. All right, before we go putting the flywheel and the clutch on, we do need to do a couple critical things, namely put a rear main seal in this thing, and we're gonna replace the pilot bushing. We got a big leak right now. We got no rear main seal, but we got a new one.
What's a rear main seal?
Well, it's the seal that seals up your rear main area. It's pretty main. It's your main seal in the reel. Your main wheel seal. I'm fine, guys. I'm feeling fine. All right, there's our old pilot bushing, and this is where the input shaft on your transmission kind of centers up and into the backside of your crankshaft. So it's always a good idea to replace these when you're in there. And this is a needle bearing one, which is kind of nice, but since these have a bunch of parts, they can come apart. So we're gonna replace it with a solid brass unit. Just put some grease in there, and it's brass, so brass is self-lubricating, and so this really can't come apart. This can't fail nearly as easily as this can, so.
I need that heat right now so I can get this bearing sleeve out.
Yeah! Fresh pilot bushing.
Okay, next thing we're gonna install is our flywheel. This is the mating surface between our engine and our transmission. Our clutch pack literally sits up and butts up against this flywheel. This is our old one. It's 21 pounds. It's super freaking heavy. We're done with that. This is our nice new one at a mere 17.5 pounds. Because it's lighter, we'll be able to rev this engine up a little bit quicker, but it's not so light that it's gonna be a pain in the butt to drive on the street. So it's a nice balancing act. Joby picked a 3.5 pound weight lighter, which I just did the math in my head. That's why it took me a little bit of time. I'm sorry, I didn't immediately say it. I was doing a calculation.
Lunch is here. Hey, how you doing?
And now lunch is here.
Yum, nom, nom, nom. All right, so we got a nice new lightweight flywheel going on the engine, but we need to bolt a clutch to that to drive our transmission. And since we're gonna be making more power, we need to upgrade our clutch to hold more power. So we got this clutch from McLeod, and this thing holds more power in a couple of ways. First, you've got the friction disc right here, and this is what your transmission is connected to, and this is what gets sandwiched between your pressure plate and your flywheel to drive the transmission to make you go forward. And there are a couple different types of friction material that you can use that have sort of different properties. This is a heavy-duty organic material which can hold decent power but engages smoothly and drives nicely. Then on the back side, we've actually got a ceramic material. And this has a lot more bite and can hold more power, but can drive a little less smoothly. And you'll notice we're missing material in a lot of areas. That'll increase the actual pressure on these bits of ceramic to bite into the flywheel even harder. Now it's a full face disc on the front, so we've got friction material everywhere, so it'll drive pretty nice, but we've got smaller friction material on the back made out of ceramic that will bite a little bit harder and help us hold more power. Now this is still a sprung friction disc, which means it's got springs in there like that, which help absorb a little bit of that initial impact when you let the clutch pedal out and try to move forward. And the other way that it holds that power is by the pressure plate. The pressure plate is what puts pressure on the friction disc. All these fingers here, this is basically one big spring that is pushing this pressure plate towards the friction disc and towards the flywheel. And then when you hit the clutch pedal, the throwout bearing pushes on all those fingers and flips the spring up, getting the pressure plate away from the friction disc and disengaging the engine from the transmission. By squishing harder and having a little bit more aggressive friction material, we'll be able to hold up to 500 horsepower. Time has come. This is a family reunion. All right, with the engine and trans back together, it's time to drop this thing back in the car. And then the real work begins.
Still injects. That's firewall. Okay.
Oh yeah. Now that we got the engine and transmission back in the car, it's time to start thinking about getting some fluids back into it. And since we're gonna be making more horsepower, we're gonna be making more heat, so we gotta keep those fluids cool. So we've got some upgrades. Summit sent us this massive 4-core radiator. 4 cores means that it has 4 distinct rows of tubes going through the radiator. So the more rows you stack up, the more fluid you have in your radiator, and each of those tubes have a ton of surface area. And since there's air going through all these fins, ideally, all that surface area and all that flowing air translates to more cooling. Now you gotta be able to get enough air through this thing to cool it, but as long as you got some big fans, you can do that. And we got some big fans. Bruh. Get it? So we got a pair of these Meridyne fans to go on the back of this thing. They pull a combined 5,520 CFMs of air cubic feet a minute. Now these fans come with their own shroud that have these nice little flappy doos that will let air flow through as you get up to speed. But when you're sitting still and the fans are responsible for all your airflow, the fans will pull these shut and only pull air through the radiator. We've also got Earl, and for our Earl, we got an Earl cooler.
How dare you!
This is a little CSF unit, and we're gonna mount this right in front of the radiator behind the duct in the bumper there so that it gets some nice airflow and keeps our oil temps nice and cool.
This is our modified header. This tube used to come out here and got in the way of the oil pan. So now it's another piece and it sneaks between its friends here and lines back up. So now we can install it and have an oil pan.
So when you're mounting a cooler like this that didn't exist beforehand, you just want to make sure you get it in airflow and kind of close to the radiator. We're just putting it in front of this mouth because we know air is going to flow there. It'll be nice and tight to the radiator and should get nice natural airflow. And it'll be close enough to the radiator that the fans will pull some through it as well at idle.
There we have it, a modified header.
Hell yeah, dude. We got clearance. I've been doing that a lot lately. I gotta quit.
I don't mind it.
Too much.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
If you don't know, my name's Jeremiah, and I'm addicted to losing 10mm sockets.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Now, when I started this lost socket support group, I knew that there were others out there just like me who needed a place to talk. We got coffee and donuts in the back, but if anyone here wants to get something off their chest, please raise your hand. Is there anyone who needs to get something off their chest?
I gotta get this off my chest. What's up, guys? My name's Zach, and I'm addicted to losing 10mm sockets too. Honestly, I just think about it all the time. It gives me so much grief. I just think about all the 10mm I've just sent off into the world, away from their families. Their families are probably at home on the socket rail waiting for them to come back, not knowing that they're not coming. How could they? They don't even have legs, man.
No, I know what you're saying, Job. I've probably rebuilt hundreds of engines, and I'll never be able to rebuild the part of my heart that lost my first 10 mil.
I know what you mean, man. Right here.
I lost one last week. I dropped it right down the intake runner, went clink, 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 then nothing. I think it's still down there.
Oh, no.
I don't care.
Oh, no.
We've all been there, but I brought something today that I think might help us heal.
All 10s?
You bet it is. 1/2 inch, 3/8, quarter. We got shallow, deep, swivel, impact. They're all there and they're all gold. And the best part is you can grab them right now at Walmart. But they're a limited run, so you guys gotta leave right now. Meeting's adjourned. Go get you some of these, okay? And don't lose them. All right, guys. Okay. This was fun. I hope we don't ever have to do this again. But if so, I'll see you next month.
Okay, we've made a ton of progress, but there's still more to be done. I got the radiator and the fans in yesterday, so right now I'm working on mounting them, or wiring them. Mike's working on fuel. What the hell are you doing?
Dude, I'm here advising, okay? I'm here for the vibes. I'm vibing.
All right, well, give me some vibe advice.
Dude, just freaking relax. You gotta talk to the wires, man.
I didn't think about that.
You gotta just talk to the wires and they'll just wire themselves up. Yeah, what should I be
It's
doing?
right down there. That's a good question.
You're a pipe.
Maybe get the headers on.
Okay, dude, I'll get the headers on.
I think we could do that now, yeah.
How far are we till firing this thing up? How about that?
Not terribly far.
So fuel's almost done. Wiring, ignition, where's that going to? Are we doing standalone?
We are doing standalone, yeah, but this will still all be the same. But it's a plug and play Mega Squirt, so should be pretty easy to install.
What a name, dude. Mega Squirt.
That's what they called me in college. Oh, I'm still in college, actually. That's what they call me now.
What college do you go to?
Yeah, what college?
A few different ones.
Oh, a couple.
Well, what was the exact name of it?
Harvard.
That's the funniest thing you ever said in your entire life. I went to Harvard and skipped around, went to Yale.
Yeah, I checked out
Dartmouth.
Stanford.
Stanford.
I went to Stanford. It's actually right next to Stanford, and they hate that we just.
You actually went to Harvard.
I went to Harvard.
It's Harvard.
Okay, good
All right,
deal.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Divide and conquer.
Dude, these are long tube headers, yeah? If you want more horsepower, brother, you gotta get all that hot, burnt exhaust air fuel mixture out of there. The way that you get it out of there in the most efficient way is with some nice free flowing headers. So this is 4 into 1. You kind of see the big collector right there. Mike had to make some modifications so it didn't hit our oil pan on the right side, but this side will bolt up nicely and hopefully be able to help us make some more power. I believe they should. The last ones we had, if you compare them side by side, pretty twisted, they're pretty restrictive. And Summit sent us these, so thank you, Summit.
In order to take advantage of all the horsepower mods we've done to this thing, we're going to a standalone ECU. This is a Mega Squirt. So we're gonna change basically the control strategy from a mass airflow based system, which this used with a small mass airflow sensor. We can get that out of the way now, and we're gonna go to manifold absolute pressure, or a MAP sensor, inside the ECU. So we just need to reference the load on the engine in order to tune it correctly. So this gives us a lot more options.
We're going from math to map. We're pirates now, brother. Way to go, Dad. I want to go. I want to go.
Now we just need to run this vacuum line through the firewall so the ECU can get the signal from the intake.
All right, so we were almost done with the wiring for the fans. Originally, this car had a mechanical fan, so it didn't have electric fans to begin with. But these fans are not just any electric fans, they're relatively big, so they take a bunch of power. So we're gonna add basically a couple relays with a couple fuses and deliver all the power these things need so that they can pull a ton of air without melting any wires. Just gotta add a couple grounds, and then like the major power stuff here is done. Then we just need to find battery voltage, and then we gotta control the fans. So there's a couple different options here. The fan controller came with a temp switch, so you can put basically a temp probe in the side of your radiator and adjust that thing so that it turns on at a set temp, and then it's basically just on full rip when it hits that temp and turns off below that temp. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna hook it up to our Mega Squirt so we can take a little bit more fine control of it. It's nice to have the fans on halfway when that's all you need, rather than all the time, you know?
Now, in an effort to make good on the premise of this video, we have some new components. Now, here is our stock intake manifold and our stock throttle body. Now, this throttle body, the diameter of that opening is how they rate them, and this is a 55 millimeter. And this intake manifold is 75 millimeters, so we get 20 more millimeters. It's all a game of millimeters, people. Also, this intake manifold is more voluminous. This is a bigger chamber, it's a little bit longer,
allows that air to flow more fluid-like, to get inside those valves in a more efficient manner. Also compared to our stock intake manifold, look at these little small ovals. Look at these big fat rectangles. Runners themselves are larger, so it's easier for that air to get in there. Gonna get this thing slapped on here. We're one step closer to getting this puppy fired up. Doesn't matter which side goes where. Okay, I don't know. Does the gasket go like this or like this? Hey Mike, which way does this gasket go, you think?
Whichever way you want. I don't know.
They just feel a little different. This one feels a little felty on one side and feels a little plasticky on one side.
Whatever feels right to
Why
you.
don't you spit on both sides, make them feel the same?
I already did that, and Eddie hates when I spit on stuff, dude. He was yucked out.
I do too, come to think of it.
Full on yuck, full on yucked out. And I was like, bro, it's just a little.
Thing's got a real nice tune on it.
Yeah, it's called the Jair tune. The flute tune, baby. Okay, so we're nearing the potential startup phase. So we're gonna prime the engine, get some oil pressure. Mike's got the gauge in there, he's viewing it. Got this little adapter, which just runs down here and reverse direction, correct? Reverse, here we go. Good? What do we get up to? The middle. So is this how you clock your advancing? Mm-hmm. All right.
You gotta do just starter speed,
Yeah,
see what it does.
Cranking. The fuel pump relay is disconnected, so none of that's happening.
Okay, you tell me when.
When?
Go for it.
Cranking.
We have no light.
That's a nice crank.
It was a nice even crank.
Thank God it wasn't in gear, because I didn't check.
Our timing light is not firing, so we're just gonna put a little charger on the battery. Make sure our voltage is correct.
Yeah, nay?
Nada.
What the fuck?
We're getting some
try
readings over
smacking it?
there, though.
Well, we're not getting any light from our timing light, which may mean we have a problem with the timing light, or it may mean we're not getting spark, and the spark is what triggers the timing light. So we have a spark tester, and this is just sort of an inline little guy that'll light up if you do have spark, and it won't light up if you don't. So let's see if it lights up.
We have spark there. Let me put it in number 1. Okay. That's doing things. It might need some more ripums for the timing light.
It might be that, yeah. Yeah, nothing.
Hey, but we got oil pressure.
As long as you got the OPUG. If you got the OPUAG, all good.
All good, baby.
Dude, let's just send it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Nothing.
A little pop and a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything wrong?
yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Okay, so we just put the fuel pump relay back in, so we're pressurizing the fuel system for the first time. We obviously just added a bunch of fuel components, so we're just making sure none of them are leaking before we try to fire it up. Yeah, we're at 25 right now, bopping up to 30.
Okay.
No leaks, so smell no
No
fuel.
leaks. Ignition, fuel. Do you have a fire extinguisher?
Yeah, right on the stairs.
All right, Mike. Give her a little whirl.
See what she does.
Well, that's a good sign.
That's a great sign.
Oh, timing light's going on.
Yeah, let's see what she says.
25.
Is an interference engine?
No, maybe, yes, no.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is ignition timing. So we're just playing with when the spark is firing relative to where the piston's at in the cylinder. So not playing with the static timing of the engine or, you know, the relationship between the cam and the crank and obviously, than the valves. Since we timed the engine correctly in terms of putting the timing gears on and getting the cam in there, we're not gonna crash pistons and valves no matter how bad we have our timing out. We just are trying to get our timing set, our ignition timing. We're a little spicy right now.
That was spicy.
We should be more excited. The thing fired up.
It did fire up, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
It sounds sick, and literally, there's been 4 people that walked by and looked at us like, these guys again?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice when somebody's walking by and we get a fire up, because, you know, a bunch of people probably walk by and they're like, that thing's never going
That
back
thing's
together.
they're done. That thing's living on the driveway.
Sucked on that, Marvista.
Yee-haw diddly.
This thing's gonna be sweet.
All right, well, I think as the sun sets here in beautiful Los Angeles, we're done for the day. We got to still button up some stuff, get all our coolant lines hooked up, get coolant in the car, the odds and ends that aren't very fun to see on camera finished, and then it's to the dyno.
Yeehaw! She runs, baby.
We'll see you at dyno day. Toodaloo.
All right, the time is upon us. We've tied up all the loose ends, I think, and we're ready to go to the dyno. Car's loaded up, and we just got like a 45-minute drive ahead of us before we meet destiny. See if we've doubled our horsepower. 380 is the goal. I'm shaking with anticipation. All right, we're here, back at the scene of the place where we once made 191 horsepower with this very Fox body. Now today is a different day. We've been trying to double our horsepower, which would mean 382. So why don't y'all cross your fingers and let's twist our
300?
300.
brother.
Dude,
Don't be mean.
it's a little harsh.
Strong 300.
My first criteria is if the thing just stays in one piece and we drive it home, then I'm happy. I think we're probably gonna come somewhere closer to like 350, but I think we should definitely break 300.
I said 364 was my guess.
364.
I said 348 to 352. I think it's gonna be right there. I think realistically, if we land between 350 and 382, we're doing great. That's my like coping mechanism to make sure that I don't get my heart broken. But really, 350 horsepower would be so much fun in this thing, and we can do more stuff to make more power to double it. Not to back off the goal. We do want to double the power, but you know, 350, 380, what's the difference? I am sweating though. It seems we have a little bit of an oil leak coming from the, well, I thought it was coming out of the bell housing, which means probably a rear main seal, which would be awful news. But Koji just spotted it and he said our valve cover's leaking. So maybe we didn't torque down one of the valve cover fasteners or something, but that's way better than a rear main seal. Yeah.
Did you hear the bonk noise I was talking about?
I heard like a sheet metal, like tin can
Yeah.
noise. Yeah, I heard that. I thought it was you leaning on something or me leaning on something.
No, it just does that.
Maybe it's the pan.
That's what I'm afraid of.
What?
I don't think so, but
Yeah. We just kind of got like a tin can noise, almost like, you know.
if you just fire it up, it'll do it.
Yeah.
It comes and goes. I don't know.
That's the noise. I don't know.
Yeah. What is that?
When it goes in the boost, there's another one that
Yeah.
pushes out to the epicenter.
Gonna go bonk. I hear it hissing.
What the is that?
I think it is the pan. Yeah, we're sucking the pan. Well, let's just pull this off and
That's why
vent
maybe
to
the-
atmosphere for now. And
Yeah, I think maybe that's why the valve cover is leaking too.
that's definitely not helping.
Yeah.
You got a flat
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
PCV check valve in here is bad or something. Because it's supposed to not be full crankcase vacuum or enough to make the pan go bink bonk.
Yeah.
So. Well, now we don't have a big vacuum leak anymore.
We aren't making enough fuel pressure. The one thing that we didn't do, because there was already one in the car, was an upgraded fuel pump. But it seems like maybe it's leaking, you know, where the feed line out of the pump mates to the pump or something like that in the tank. because I swear we were making higher fuel pressure at the house yesterday. So we got to see what we can do about that. We got about 32 PSI fuel pressure right now. We want about 43 and a half.
Leaking?
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the f? Back to the house.
Time for today, huh?
I mean, I'm not dropping the tank here. The way she goes. Fuck. All right, well, let's clean her up and lick our little wounds. Double f.
Oh, it's leaking so much from the back too.
Really? Okay, so we've got a couple problems. Fuel pressure, not making enough of it. Probably got to get in, well, sounds like we got to drop the gas tank and get eyes on the fuel pump itself. Probably potentially replace it. And we've got 2 pretty large oil leaks, one from the front, one from the back. That was not the plan. Seems like something that's supposed to be sealing things is not. I don't know which thing. Seems like maybe multiple things. Well, we gotta figure out what this really means for this video because I'm pretty busy until the time this comes out.
To be continued.
That's right. To be continued, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, that like button. Thank you. Leave us a comment letting us know how stupid we are. And yeah, we'll see you next time once we get this thing fixed and actually doubling our horsepower. Pray for me.